It's your boy GQC the Smooth. Feeling a little political today. Um, I don't usually do, obviously I usually don't do videos like this, but I really just felt the need to just join in the conversation at this point in regards to some things that was on the news yesterday, especially with Stacey Dash on Fox News yesterday, and some of the comments that she made in regards to how black people are continuing to segregate themselves by having channels like BET and having the Black Image Awards and just the fact that we have our own, in the sense, when it comes to award shows and why are we boycotting the Oscars. I find that very interesting, and ironically, I'm not sure if too many of you are aware, but she wasn't the only black lady on Fox News making interesting comments on behalf, I guess, of of the black race. Before we even really get into that second part, I want to talk really more about the comments of Stacey Dash, because I've been reading a lot of comments from other people on the subject, and of course, as always, you have some people for and you have people against, and unfortunately, what a lot of people seem to fail to realize is that there really is a right and wrong when it comes to these particular situations. There really is a fact or fiction. There really is a truth and a lie. You really have to understand what side of the fence you're on, because it really goes to show what your past views are, or how you were raised, and really just the kind of way that you view the world. At the end of the day, it really goes to show whether you're just honestly just keeping it real and simple, if you're blind or stupid, or actually intelligent enough to see what's going on around you in a socialized and controlled world that we all really live in. So really getting into what Stacey Dash said, the fact that there is truth. I'm going to be upfront. There is truth to what she said. Now, with that being said, and I'm just going to repeat again, for if you haven't really heard or seen, the fact that she was in some section saying that black people as a whole need to choose, whether it's segregation or integration, and that we are basically segregating ourselves by having our own image awards and or award shows, and even Black History Month needs to go. She feels that there shouldn't be a BET or a Black History Month, and again, she is correct. She's absolutely correct. There should be these particular things. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Explain to you why that is correct, and also why she is so wrong and how she lied. That's the key. The key thing is that truth can be a lie. I know a lot of people are thrown off. That's an oxymoron. They're like, what in the world? How can the truth be a lie? Well, it's how you use the truth. Truth can be used as a lie, because you can make a true statement without throwing in the details to explain how the truth is the truth. You can use that truth or manipulate it in a way to serve your own purpose. That would make it a lie. She used truth as a lie. Case in point, I thought of an old episode of a cartoon series that used to come on back in the 80s and 90s. It actually came on a little bit before there was even a Transformers. Some of you who are old enough to remember, like me, may remember a show called GoBots. Yes, I said it. GoBots. Yes, I'm taking this situation back to an episode of GoBots. Okay, just deal with it. GoBots came out before Transformers. They were more of a simplified version of the Transformer. The good guys, in this case, led by a F-14 fighter jet that would transform into a robot, was named Leader One. And the bad guy, being a motorcycle, was named Psykill. I love that. Psykill. Get it? Psykill. Now, both these groups, Leader One and his guys, Scooter and Turbo, please do not ask me why I remember this. Do not ask me, okay? But I do. They were fighting obviously against Psykill and his cronies, and they wound up fighting each other and crash landing on a planet of different aliens, and these aliens captured both groups. These aliens did not know about the war between these two groups, and they decided they were going to have to get rid of them. Now, Psykill, being the evil mastermind, decided that he would take advantage of the situation, and just like any evil person, manipulated the situation by saying he was a good guy, and Leader One, his guys, were the bad guys, and that they were trying to get rid of him. So, now, before we get too deep in that, now, of course, Leader One is disputing that, so the alien group is saying that, okay, you know what? We're going to ask a question, and whoever lies, we're going to get rid of. And if Psykill tells the truth, then we'll know you guys are the bad guys. Yes, they gave the question to Psykill of all people, or in this case, all robots. Now, Psykill simply, I can't remember the question that was asked. I do admit, I can't remember the question, but his answer was very simple. He smiled and said, "Leader One is trying to kill me." Now, according to the lie detector that they had him attached to, it came up green. He was telling the truth. The alien group looked at Leader One and said, you and your men are evil, and we're going to have to destroy you. Now, Scooter, being one of the good guys, spoke up and said, yeah, but Psykill didn't tell you why we're trying to get him. The aliens didn't want to listen, so they tried to get rid of Leader One. Psykill felt that he had won. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, how a truth is used as a lie. Psykill told the truth. Leader One is trying to get him. He's trying to kill him. He's trying to destroy him. But that's because Psykill was trying to destroy all the good people and take over the entire universe. He failed to expose that part of the truth, which meant that he was giving half-truth or a piece of the truth. You see, in the court of law, and we will say this directly to Stacey Dash, in the court of law, there's a certain thing that they do when you're sworn in to give testimony. It's called, will you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Stacey Dash gave truth, but she did not give whole truth. She only gave a piece of a truth, which was utilized and manipulated into giving a lie, in a sense. It was a false statement at that point. Now, what she said is truth in the fact that we should not have to have or actually she said there should not be a Black History Month or a BET, these things that Black people have created to African Americans have created in order to award themselves. That is true. We should not have to have these things. Everyone should be able to get accolades from the entities that have been set up. But because these entities have time and time and time again shown that they're only going to award those who look like them, well, it became necessary, and this is a reminder to Stacey Dash and any other person who somehow feels that way she does, that these things don't need to exist. Well, there's a reason why they exist. We had to have these things because we could not get any kind of accolade or any kind of direction or information or any kind of acknowledgement of our presence from the entities that were already created. The Oscars continue, and I remember a couple of comments that I saw on Facebook in regards to the subject. The Oscars continue to keep redoing the same things they always do, which is not show diversity. I've been saying this for a long time in regards to the Oscars and any other award shows, such as Billboard and any other music award show. Again, it goes down to who's running it. There is no diversity. There's not much diversity in regards to the people who are running these things. It's still the same powers that be. Now, going back to the Oscars, because it's talking about movies, I've been saying for a long time, we can't even get sci-fi movies beyond certain things, even given an Oscar. I don't know why a lot of people are trying to say that Will Smith can't act or trying to down him. I saw Concussion and I loved it. I really thought that the effort alone, to utilize a different language or an accent is definitely not an easy thing to do in a movie. So all you people who want to keep saying that Will Smith can't act, well, please send me your resume, send me your information, because I would love to see the last time that you did a Nigerian accent in a movie or any other accent, period. Let's see what you can do. and let's see what your acting skills are. We are so quick to down people and say that oh, well, he can't do that, they can't do that, or they suck. And yet we've never done it before. So I want to see all these people's reels and what they've done and some of the work that they've done, since they're criticizing the work of Will Smith and saying that he can't act, but yet you were probably right there watching a lot of his movies at the same time. So let's think on that. Now, going back to the Stacey Dash situation again, I don't want to get too far off subject. Truth being used as a lie to dissect, or in most cases, just being used against the black community. This is nothing new. It's nothing new. I constantly see people using stats all the time, saying how black people are killing each other. There are more blacks killing blacks in their communities than whites killing blacks. There are a lot of different numbers that could support this. At the end of the day, people always want to use that numbers can't lie or don't lie. You're right, numbers don't lie unless you make them. It's as simple as that. You can twist the facts all you want to, but the truth of the matter is there shouldn't be certain things that happen. There shouldn't be cops killing unarmed people, period, no matter what color they are. You gotta abide by the laws and rules that you are supposed to be protecting. Just as much as you're a lawmaker. If you're a politician and you're making laws, well, does that not subjugate you to the law that you made too? Just because you made the law does not make you above it. It also makes you even more accountable to that law. Let that sink in too. Now, going back again to Stacey Dash's situation here, the expressions that she made, again, half-truths, pieces of truths. The fact of the matter is, we should be integrating, but it's not necessarily our choice, is it, people? It's not our choice. If we choose to integrate, that's what we've been trying to do for a long time, which is why there was a civil rights movement. The whole point of that is to get people to accept skin color and to accept the fact that, listen, I didn't choose to be black. This is what I was born with, but I'm still human because I still bleed, and our makeup is the same. Just because I'm black doesn't make me less intelligent, as they continue to force that information down people's throats for over years. There's a lot of people still walking around still believing that blacks are still underclass citizens, and that anybody who's not Caucasian is an underclass citizen. The standard has been set by the Caucasian race for so long that too many people think that if you talk to a black person of authority, their authority doesn't exist. But if someone white gives you the same information, somehow that information is actually correct. You have young children who are see dolls that are black, and they think that there's a bad doll, there's a bad girl, but they see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed doll, they think that's a good doll. These kids have been manipulated to fall into these slave standards. Because this is how we were being raised. This is how we're being taught. So driving home the point, black women are the most powerful group in America at this point. If you didn't know that, you need to start paying attention to your TV shows. You need to start paying attention to who are our leads on a lot of these TV shows that are on some of the networks. Are there black men taking these lead roles, or are these roles being given to black females? I am in no way saying that I do not support these ladies. That is so not the case. Making Good on Minority Report, and of course Taraji on Empire. Then of course you still have your How to Get Away with Murder on ABC. You still have your scandals on ABC. I will say that this, Fox and ABC have taken more of a lead in providing minorities with roles, but they are focusing primarily on minority females when it comes to these roles. The black male is not getting a lot of these lead roles anymore. We had Michael Ealy on Fox in Almost Human, and that was canceled after one season. So, you got to think about that. But you got to understand, and I say this to all my African American females in my network, you're all beautiful, I love you guys, but you also got to understand you have been given a certain amount of power at this point, and that power came from the establishment. The establishment has given you all power because, again, you got to understand, it's designed to weaken the black male. the power is being taken from us and given to you. Now, it's your choice on how you use that power. You can either use it for good or use it for bad. And in this case, Stacey Dash used it for bad. Black women are being put up front on TV more and more every day. And what you say will be taken more as an authoritative point than a black guy. We get dismissed a lot of times. Oh, he's a crazy, black, ignorant, Negro, whatever. But you all come on TV and you all say things, well, of course, it just seems to be standard. It seems like the authority has been given to you to speak for all of blackhood, at this point. So you have to be careful on what you say and how you say it, because you are being held as the factual standard. So please understand, you have power. Use it wisely. It's as simple as that. Gotta use it wisely. And yes, there is a right and wrong on these issues. There is a fact or fiction on these issues, because if you go the wrong way, it could set back an entire race for hundreds of years. Again, we're still trying to push forward. We're still trying to get civil rights, not really just for blacks, but just period. People's civil rights are being trampled on by the establishment over and over every day. There are certain specific groups that are being more focused on than others. And that's the thing that I say this to my white counterparts or Caucasian counterparts who still don't seem to understand what the hell is going on around them. They still seem to be living in zombie land because these things don't affect them directly. They're in a middle class, or even if they're poor. I've seen people who are poor, Caucasians who are poor, and they still think that they're better than everybody else on the planet. So at the end of the day, please pull your head out your asses. You got to. Because we need you to see what your counterparts are doing and the lies they're telling you and feeding you, because they want to keep you in zombie land. They want to keep you misinformed. They want to keep you walking this line of fog where you're like, I don't know what they're talking about. There's just no racism. I don't see what's going on. You're living in fog land, okay? Use a fog light. Get out of the fog, all right? Recognize that your country, the country you claim, which is America, is a bad country at the same time. Good country, but bad people do bad things, okay? Let's face it, it's not the government. It's the people who run the government who continue to facilitate such evil atrocities, all right? So let's stop voting the same people in power for 20, 30 years. I don't understand why there are certain senators who are still serving 40, 50 years. These people die in office. Like the same bigoted ideas die in office and they pass it on to some other generation. Please, people, we got to do better. Stop voting people with money into power. Why? Because power still corrupts regardless. But you got to understand, people with money do not understand what it's not to be without it. As soon as they lose their money, they kill themselves. And that's a typical standard, apparently, from a lot of people. A lot of people can't deal without having money when you've had money for so long. But when you don't have money, you kind of know how to survive without it. You don't kill yourself. You just find other ways to survive. So please understand, you got to stop electing people with money into power positions because they just keep messing up. Power positions are dangerous. You have to find a better way. Now, with that being said, please, Ms. Stacey Dash, go back and do your history, do your research, and remind yourself exactly where you came from, what you did, because as many people have been showing, you have been on BET, you've been to the NAACP Awards, the NAACP Awards, say that correctly, and you've been in these events, you've been to these events, you have rubbed shoulders with these particular people, and it's really not a good look to bite the hand that has fed you for so many years. At the end of the day, yes, we all wake up and grow up and change, but don't wake up and do something and say something that is just erroneous, or it's just say pieces of truth or half-truths, and this goes to everybody, period. Don't say half-truths. Listen, at the end of the day, follow what's true. Follow the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. For too long, this country has been led by certain groups of people who decided it's better to oppress than to work with and build together. This country was built on the backs of several different racial groups, but at the end of the day, we still have one group still trying to maintain a power position over all other groups. That's just fact, okay? That's just understand the fact, understand what the reality is, and then we can change that, all right? Your boy GQC Smooth signing off. Sorry for the long video, but it's just a whole lot to say. There's a whole lot to talk about. And hopefully 2016, we'll see some differences. All right. But main thing is, hey, we'll catch up. You'll be seeing me some more. Coming back to you. GQ City Smooth. You already know how I do. Boom.